I'm the owner and director of operations for the company.
All right, you're located?
Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti.
And previous types of employment?
I was a computer network engineer for many years and a real estate investor and builder.
I skipped one here. How many years have you been with Presidential?
We've been in business 2 years.
2 years? Okay. And do you have a spouse?
Yes, Nancy.
And children?
I have 3 girls.
3 girls? And any pets?
We have a Great Dane and 2 cats.
Hobbies?
I'm interested in alternate energy stuff, so tinker with that kind of stuff.
And President, with activities of interest?
Activities of interest?
Kind of same as hobbies,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And your city of residence?
Ann Arbor.
And for how long have you been in Ann Arbor?
Most of my life, about 40 years.
40 years. Your burning desire is to?
I've always wanted to build an alternate energy community that's self-sustaining.
And something nobody knows about you?
Let's see, maybe you can tell by today how I'm walking around. I've got a bad back. 2 blown out knees from running 30 years. So.
And your key to success?
I think I'm pretty, I'm able to solve problems pretty well. I'm good at analyzing problems and solving them.
Okay, Ken Yamamoto. Yay, Ken, over here.
Okay. So, what we have here is a display booth that I've got set up for this weekend's caregiver fair at the Kensington Court Hotel near Briarwood Falls. And I figured since I put all this work together for that, I might as well do a mock presentation.
Yeah.
So I've asked for a couple volunteers to be caregivers looking for care for their mother and father. And we're just going to go through a little script here. So before I do that, I just wanted to let you know that there's like 35,000 caregivers in Washtenaw County. And actually the majority of them are female, just for interesting statistics. But there's a lot of caregivers around here, and since I'm part of this Washtenaw County Consortium on Aging, this is going to be our 2nd annual caregiver fair, and we've put together like 63 vendors that are going to be there. They're in the assisted living business, plus we've contracted 4 different very good informational speakers. So there'll be lots of good information for you. So pick up a flyer to hand out to any caregiver that you may know. So if I could call Kristen up. Kristen is going to play the role of caregiver for her father.
A role which I have played in real life.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Hello. Are you looking for care options for a family member?
Yes, I'm looking for information for my father.
So may I ask, what is going on with your father?
Well, my father had a stroke several years ago, and my mother has been taking care of him at their home until she passed away last month. My sister and I have been taking turns caring of Dad, and we need help because my sister has a very demanding job, and I still have kids at home that need my attention. Also, we don't feel comfortable leaving Dad at home alone during the night.
I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your mother. I also know how overwhelming it can be to suddenly be given the responsibility to care for another person when you already have a lot of other responsibilities in your life. I'm glad you have come to our event. There are some great assisted living companies here today, and I can personally recommend some great private duty home care companies that can help care for your dad when you're not able to.
Yes, I've already spoken to a few, but my dad really needs round-the-clock care, and I've priced out paying for 24/7 care at his house, and it comes to around $12,000 to $14,000 a month. That is way more than we can afford to pay. I'm afraid we might have to put Dad in a nursing home, even though I promised him I would never do that. I checked out several local assisted living nursing homes, and they look like they have a very nice, beautiful building and a good care program. However, I think my dad will be overwhelmed by how big they are. Also, the nursing homes quoted me a price of about $9,000 a month because my dad is in a wheelchair and partially paralyzed. He's incontinent and is also diabetic. That is still way too expensive for us, so I'm looking for something more reasonably priced.
A few years ago, I had to shop around for care for my grandfather and was also shocked at how expensive all my options are. My grandfather was similar to your dad, and he wanted nothing to do with living in one of those large assisted living institutions. That is how I ended up starting my company, Presidential Caregivers. So what we offer is a home in a great residential neighborhood where up to 6 seniors live together as an extended family, along with our caregivers who are on duty 24/7 to attend to all of their needs. Our clients enjoy a warm and comfortable home that has been renovated to accommodate people with mobility issues. We provide delicious home-cooked meals and manage all of their medications and medical needs. Basically, we offer all the same medical and personal care services of a nursing home, but in a much smaller home-like environment. We are professionally managed and licensed by the state of Michigan, and typically offer our services at a fraction of the price compared to many area nursing homes. We are focused on quality of life and custom tailor daily activities to match the individual abilities and unique interests of each of our residents.
Wow, that does sound like an environment my dad would like, and I could keep my promise to him that we would never send him to a nursing home. Would my dad have his own room, and how much would it cost?
Yes, everyone has their own private bedrooms at my residential care home. We charge a monthly service fee with a base price of around $3,300 a month. This fee pretty much includes everything other than personal care items like adult briefs.
Okay, that price is much more affordable than the nursing homes I looked at. How much would you charge for my dad?
Before we can quote you an exact price, we would need to perform a detailed evaluation of your dad to allow us to assess his current condition and aid us in developing a personal care plan if you decided to move him in with us. Things that add to our monthly base price are being in a wheelchair, being incontinent, having advanced dementia, or being a severe diabetic that constantly needs to have blood sugar monitored with daily insulin injections. It sounds like your dad has a lot of these major issues going on. So he would be at our upper end of our care levels, and we would charge around $4,500 to $4,800 per month for his care. I think this is still less than half the price you said the nursing home was going to charge you.
Interesting. Can I set up a time to come and see your home?
Absolutely. So that's an example of a caregiver looking for care for their father, and now we have a caregiver who's going to be looking for care for their mother.
Hi there. What is your residential care home?
What we offer is an alternative care option to a nursing home. I have found that some people prefer a much smaller home-like environment to live in for assisted living. This seems especially true for Alzheimer's patients, as they often can be overwhelmed in large assisted living environments. Our care is provided in a home located in a great residential neighborhood that has been renovated to accommodate people with mobility issues. We provide delicious home-cooked meals and manage all of their medications and medical needs. Basically, we offer all the same medical and personal care services of a nursing home, but in a much smaller home-like environment. We are professionally managed and licensed by the state of Michigan, and typically offer our services at a fraction of the price compared to many nursing homes. We are focused on quality of life and custom tailor daily activities to match the individual abilities and unique interests of each of our residents.
Oh, my mom has Alzheimer's, and I have been looking at some of the larger facilities that specialize in Alzheimer's, but I do like the fact that you're smaller and that she would likely not get lost. I want to put her in a place that understands Alzheimer's and can provide her with appropriate care.
The majority of people that we care for have Alzheimer's or some form of dementia. We are very experienced with Alzheimer's care and can care for your mother at all stages of the disease. Besides being a smaller environment, that also means that we have far fewer staff coming and going. Your mother would get to know and recognize everyone who cares for her instead of feeling like a stranger is providing her care, like it might be in a larger setting. Also, every one of our residents is unique, and our smaller setting allows our caregivers to form personal relationships with our residents so that they just know when a change or behavior is not normal for that resident. This is something that no amount of medical charting can replace.
That does sound good. How much do you charge? My mom was recently diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's, and we've noticed she's forgetting to turn off the stove, and sometimes gets lost when she goes out. She's taken about, I'd say, a dozen different medicines, and she has a walker to walk with, but she can still shower by herself with a little bit of prompting. She loves puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles, knitting, cooking, and gardening in her flower garden. She's very social, but she also needs her own space at times.
I would have to have my administrator do a full assessment on your mother before I can give you a firm quote. But from what you've told me about your mother, would be at her base level care, which is around $3,300 per month. That price includes a private room with all furnishings, or she can bring her own furniture if she prefers. Just about everything else she would need is included in other than personal care items. We provide nutritious and delicious home-cooked meals, and since your mother likes to cook, she is welcome to help our caregivers with baking and cooking meals, if she wants to participate in that. We encourage activities that give our residents a sense of purpose. In the summer, we plant lots of flowers outside, and your mother is welcome to help us with outside gardening. And here's a photo of one of our residents helping us plant flowers to spruce up the house during the springtime.
That's sweet.
We also have hundreds of puzzles, and I do garage sales looking for yarn and knitting needles, so I'm stocked up on those supplies. I think your mother would love our place. Would you like to take a tour sometime?
Sure would. It sounds wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you. So I'd like to wrap up by pointing out some of the photos that we have on display here. Besides providing a great environment and professionally managed care for our residents, we are also focused on quality of life. These photos show some of the many activities that we do at our home. We decorate and celebrate for all the holidays, and we try to recognize all of our residents' birthdays. We also do community garage sales and bake sales and a lot of other outdoor activities whenever possible. And just wanted to summarize that this is my favorite photo because it shows that we're a small home, and our residents and our caregivers really form personal relationships and get very attached to each other. So that's my presentation. Thank you.
Now that we know more about what Ken does, let's do our best to bring him a